Right, we just called into Harrison's in Oxford, and we spent the last night and a couple of days in London. So coming back up to Cheshire, we've stayed in a little place, in an Airbnb, which is lovely. We're on our way home tomorrow, and we'll pop in and see another one on the way. But this one looked really good, and they were at the awards, but they didn't recognise in the shop, which is always nice. Because we were like, well, what if they do? We'll just deny it. And no, they didn't. So fabulous. And everything was spot on. We even got a little bag of a napkin and knives and forks. And the haddock and the cod are Cornish. So that'll be interesting as well. Normally I'm getting it in from Scotland, and it's nice to see a place getting their fish from different regions, especially here in the UK. But I was after the rock salmon, but they didn't have any in today, unfortunately. We've got their mushy peas, we've got their in-house tartar sauce. Right, okay, let's get cracking. This is my wife's, and this is the small haddock and chips, and doesn't that look fantastic? Little bit of lemon there, and the chips look fabulous, everything about it. So, and she's just had some vinegar on it, and some salt, some extra from here. So I'm going to seal that back up, and pass that back to my wife, where she'll vanish with it, and I'll get stuck into mine. Mine's a little bigger, but let's have a go at that. Look at that. Fabulous. This is their large cod. And I'm going to go straight for a chip because that is delicious. Before I cut it in half, oh, I've got some good news. Now you've got a choice between, you had a choice before, but it wasn't widely known. But for those with gluten-free, who require gluten-free food or ingredients of any kind, Sarsens has now been officially certified gluten-free. So you've now got a choice of the Chippy vinegar, which is a non-brewed condiment usually. It's not usually something like that. It's not a malt vinegar. And it's basically all chemicals. But it is nice on fish and chips, but even nicer now for those who need gluten-free. We've got Sarsens. So I can get stuck into that now. So I'm going to get some of that on here. It's not been recognised as gluten-free until recently, or certified as gluten-free, which is incredible, really, given that it's been going over 200 years. So, a bit of salt on there, vinegar first, then the salt, so it sticks to it. Nice little crunch on there. Bit of a squeeze of lemon. That batter looks incredible. Look at the fish. That fish looks amazing. I might be up against it here in a minute. The machinery came on in the building at the side here, and I'm going to try to get through it before. I just don't want to rush it, so. That batter is super light. How lucky are the people living near here. Look at that. It goes on and on and on. Wow. Look at that. Steaming hot. The shop's only around the back, around the front. We're in the car park at the back. Got to try their in-house tartar sauce. Now, I'm going to use one of these forks they've given us for free. Have a little taste of that. I was getting to know. That's probably the second best tartar sauce I've had. The other one was up in Barrow-in-Furness at the Olympic. But this, and that, don't forget, we've reviewed over 100 chippies in the last 12 months. That is nice. Let's get some of this cod in there. I'm loving this. How about the peas? Oh, look at that. Just how I like them. Thick. Super thick. They are some good mushy peas. Look at these chips. All kinds of shapes and sizes. Love it. Look at some of these chips. But it's not loaded with all kinds of extra herbs and spices. It's not even got much, or if any, mint in there. And some of them do, they pack them with mint and that. Sometimes they can be a bit overpowering, but there's nothing like a plain, well-made mushy pea. So I'm going to go for a little bit more of this fish. But not before putting a little bit more vinegar on there. And a little bit more salt. So let's get into these reviews. Harrison's Fish and Chips. 6 Elms Parade, Botley, Oxford. That's 4.5 for 189 reviews, which is good. 1 star. Great fish, chips, mushy peas, and friendly serving staff. Just don't expect any goodwill from the shop's manager. Lunchtimes are busy and genuine mistakes with orders can occur, such as a missing pot of mushy peas in my case. However, it's how they handled afterwards which really counts. As a genuine customer, I thought the manager was impersonal, dismissive, and short-sighted. There was neither any gesture of goodwill to rectify a previous incomplete order, nor was a simple apology/admission of error forthcoming. The 1 star rating, therefore summarizes today's experience. 3 star. Eaten here 5 times in 8 weeks. First 4 I'd rate 4.5 out of 5. Good fish and chips. I wonder if he actually rated or reviewed the other 4 times at 4.5, or just this one at 3. Can't help but wonder that. That's how I look at them sometimes. 5 star. Best fish and chips in the city. Very clean. Food was great. Staff are very nice. So we get on to mine. 5 star. Travelling up from London to Cheshire, a lunch stop was definitely needed, and Harrison's Fish and Chips turned out to be an excellent choice. The Cornish haddock was beautifully thick and cooked to perfection, encased in a light, crispy batter that delivered on both texture and flavour. The large Cornish cod was equally impressive in size and enjoyed that same wonderful, crisp and tasty batter. The chips were hearty, thick cut and cooked just right, while the mushy peas were exactly to my taste. Thick, with a subtle, well-balanced flavour. The tartar sauce was a real highlight, standing out as some of the best I've ever had. The shop itself was spotless and well-maintained, with a clear sense of pride shown by the friendly and welcoming staff. The packaging was thoughtfully designed and environmentally friendly, which is always good to see. Conveniently, there was ample parking available both at the front and the rear of the shop, making the visit all the more pleasant. Cooking in. Vegetable oil. Hygiene rating 5. Cash or card. Fish reviewed. Cornish cod and Cornish haddock. And they were both absolutely incredible. They really were. So that's it. See you on the next one.
Oh, na na na, it's the Chippy Tour, cruising the coast, can't ignore. With every bite, I'm loving it more. Saving the chippies, that's what I'm for. Yo, I hit the road, got salt in my veins. From London to Scotland, through sunshine and rain. Fish and chips in my hand, it's a noble quest. Supporting the classics, yeah, I'm doing my best. Met a bloke in Troon with a tempura squid. A castle in Wales where I had my bid.